This episode of the All Automotive Podcast is brought to you by our friends at GeForce Automotive. GeForce Automotive is a certified service center through Auto Value. Want to make an appointment? Go to their website at www.geforceautomotive.net. Click on the banner that says Make an Appointment and make your appointment today. And now, the next episode of the All Automotive Podcast. All right, welcome back to another episode of the All Automotive Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Clausen, and today we're talking about Consumer Reports, Best and Worst. It's a magazine I picked up at the grocery store. We were there a couple weeks ago, and I happened to see this magazine, and I was like, "Ooh, I gotta check this out. I want to see what everybody's talking about." You know, it's consumers that report to this magazine, and Consumer Reports. You go on, and if you don't know what they are or who they are, you can get yourself a membership and find out. Or you can go to consumerreports.org and check them out. So what you do is you become a member and you pay for this, and you give them reviews on all kinds of different products, and including cars or whatever you want to do. So for the next half hour, we're going to be talking about this magazine and what the recommendations they give, and also their top 10. What could be better than a podcast that's got a top 10 list of Consumer Reports best cars to buy? And you're going to be surprised with the results of this. All right, so the Consumer Reports magazine, and this was April's edition, and it says it's the 2023 automotive issue. So I'm just going to we're going to get right to it. We're going to get right to the top 10 picks. And you're going to be, like I say, you're going to be surprised, and I was. And, you know, I'm from the Midwest, and I'm in the Big Three's backyard. So, and I worked at a GM dealership. So, you know, I'm partial to some of the GM vehicles, but I know that, you know, not all of them are the best, and they're not the best out there. And there are certain things that I like, and there are things that other people like, and BMWs and Toyotas and so forth. So, you know, we're going to go over some of these. And again, I think everybody's going to be a little bit surprised at the results of what consumers are saying. And also this magazine, Consumer Reports, says these are the ones that our people say that are the best. So fasten your seatbelts. So our top 10 picks. One of the first ones that would kind of struck me as a little weird, but not too far out of the ballpark anyway, is the Toyota Corolla Cross. Now, this is the Toyota Corolla that their Toyota's little SUV that they said, well, the best selling name we've got is Corolla. So why don't we just call it a Corolla Cross? Okay, that's cool. So this thing has an overall score of 77, according to them. And this vehicle list price or sticker price is anywhere from $23,060 to $28,000 well equipped. So this one happens to be a 28 mile per gallon. It's got a continuous variable transmission, like most Toyotas do. And maybe I'll have an episode on that. We need to talk about the continuous variable transmission and what its differences are between that and a regular hydromatic, or one that actually shifts and changes gears and has clutches and so forth inside of it. So maybe we'll have an episode on the continuous variable transmission. So it also comes with a 2-liter 4-cylinder with 169 horsepower. And again, the consumers rated this one at 77. So this is out of 100, folks. So 77. And this is one of the top 10 top picks in the Consumer Reports thing. So let's go to the next one. So we got the Toyota Corolla Cross. So here we go. Not too far from where we just were. Toyota Corolla, but it's the hybrid version. So this car comes in at an overall score of 82, has a list price or sticker price anywhere from $23,800 to $26,640. The reliability arrow is pointing up, as well as the Toyota Corolla Cross. The reliability has gotten better over the years, and this is what that means. And also, it's a hybrid, so it's kind of like the Prius. So it's got a 48 mile per gallon rating, and hey, that's great, folks. If you're trying to get back and forth to work and you need something that's fuel efficient, and you're trying to make ends meet, and you're not sure you want to spend that all on fuel, and you're trying to save up, and you're just starting out, and you got a couple of kids, and they're young, and it all helps. It all definitely helps. So Toyota Corolla Cross, and now we got the Corolla Hybrid. And again, this Toyota Corolla Hybrid has got an 82 overall score. And again, it gets 48 miles to the gallon, which is great, which is actually pretty great. So, and it's also got the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 with advanced driver assist features with lane departure warning, and also the adaptive cruise. So if you go back a couple of episodes, I did talk about the advanced driver assist systems, or advanced driver safety systems, what I pretty much call them. But that's the anagram that's been given. So we'll use that for our terminology. So lane departure warning, we kind of went over that. That's where you're in the lane and it notices it's got a camera on the front. Usually it's in the grill. Sometimes they're up in the windshield. And what it does is it notices the solid right side line. And then it notices the dashed line in the middle of the road. Or if you're on the highway. And also if you're on a 2-lane road, it will notice this dash line. And if you start going beyond where you're supposed to, it'll vibrate the seat, or it'll put out an audible warning, and it'll tell you, and it usually blinks a light with the car in between the lines, and it'll blink at you. So lane departure warning, pretty cool. Adaptive cruise uses probably the same camera to give you a buffer of the 1, 2, 3 car lengths away from the vehicle in front of you. And it will also, it attaches to that vehicle. Basically, you feel like you're being towed by that car in front of you, where it's, giving you that safe distance away from that car in front of you. And so if that car moves and goes faster, then you can go faster too. However, if it slows down and you go in closer and you don't have it set to be as close, and you can set them about almost to 1 car length away if you so desire. But like I said, when I was in Texas and we had that Mazda and it had this adaptive cruise, it got to be a little bit difficult to keep using because we got into some traffic and I kind of wanted to be able to push on the brake and not have to worry about the adaptive cruise kind of keeping up or not keeping up. But it will slow it down for you. It will slow down and it will allow you to keep that pace with the car in front of you, which is kind of nice. And especially if you're, traveling in twos, we all drive across country and we got family members and we got another car in front of us. And it's kind of a useful feature if you ask me. So it also has, a lot of the cars have got these blind spot warnings. And that's just radar sensors that are in the bumper, and they tell you if a car's coming up on you and not to go out into that lane. So again, full of little features. Toyota calls it the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 Suite, and that is available on all Corolla models. So moving right along, let's turn the page. Not a very big shocker here. And these are in no specific order, and they didn't put them in any order either. But I'm going to save the most interesting one for last, which I think is you're going to be shocked. I really think most of you will be shocked. Maybe you won't. I don't know. So no shocker here on this next one. The Subaru Forester, the popular small SUV, hits an overall score of 87 on the list, and its sticker price is got a $10,000 range, so from $26,400 to $36,500. So a little bit more than 10,000, but the reliability is actually gone up, and also this is one of the 28 miles per gallon is what it's averaged at, and what it was tested at, and what the consumers have reported. So Subaru Forester, it's got that iSense automatic braking, another driver assist system, which they are one of the pioneers of that, and their system works very well. So if we're all distracted, we all get distracted, and that's a really cool feature to have on a vehicle. So the Forester, actually, this is the 10th appearance in the top 10. So it's its 10th year running for being in the top 10 as far as Consumer Reports. So it's got a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, and the Subaru engines are an opposed 4-cylinder. So there's 2 on one side and 2 on the other, and it's actually like a flat 4. So it's not a V4, it's a flat. So it goes, the pistons are on a 180 degree flat surface, and they're opposed, and they've used that style of engine for a lot of years. And it also has a CVT transmission in it as well. And it's also got some of the best in class handling and responsiveness, and also the Subaru EyeSight suite of safety features and benefits. And then it's got a wider view for the updated 2023 model. So the Subaru Forester, overall score of 87, gets 28 miles to the gallon, and you could probably get one in your driveway for between $26,000 and $36,000. Just depends on how many features you want. So moving right along, we've got another Toyota, and this is really no shocker to me at all, is the Camry hybrid. The Toyota Camry has been synonymous with reliability, and it's been one of the best-selling vehicles in America for a lot of years. And this is no question. Toyota has really found a solid vehicle in the Toyota Camry. And this one happens to be the hybrid version. Very similar in design as far as the Prius. It's just a larger gasoline engine. And its overall score, according to Consumer Reports, was 90. I think this was the top. I think this one was number one, but it's as far as overall score, 90. So they're doing pretty good according to all their customers and all the consumers that have reported to them. So this one, the hybrid version, gets 47 miles to the gallon overall in all the tests, which is truly impressive for a mid-sized sedan. And if you have the opportunity and you're a traveler or whatever, and you are getting a rental car, this is kind of a no-brainer. It's got features that make you feel like you're in a sports car. It's got tap shifts, so you can keep your hands on the wheel and not have to worry. We rented one of these Camrys. It wasn't a hybrid version. It was a normal Camry, and your telephone Bluetooth to the radio really simply. It's got very easy controls. It does have the adaptive cruise as well. It has radar sensors. It's got lots of safety features. It also comes with Toyota's calling it the Safety Sense 2.5 Plus suite of driver assist features, which lane keep assist, lane departure warning, and other aids. So that's in their little notes there. But it's a very comfortable vehicle to drive. It's very reliable. So the Toyota Camry, overall score of 90. I don't think there's another vehicle in here. Let me look really quick and see. I don't think there's another vehicle in this top 10 that actually goes above 90. So I would say we're pretty close to calling it. That's got to be the number one. Okay, so moving right along. This one was a little surprising for me, is the Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. It also has, this is a two-row seated Hyundai Santa Fe. So Hyundai Santa Fe, Kia Sorento, same company, same car, just different labeling. But, the Hyundai's got some different features that Kia doesn't, and Kia's got some features that Hyundai doesn't. So they kind of try to separate them a little bit. But overall score of 88, and it's a two-row SUV. And you can put one of these in your driveway for $35,910 and $41,570. So the Santa Fe also has driver assist systems, and those are blind spot warning, and that's the radar sensors I was talking about. It's got lane keep assist or lane departure warning, and also has lane departure warning. So the lane keep assist helps keep you in the lane when you're in cruise. So the Hyundai Santa Fe, kind of a surprising thing for me. Under the hood, in the power plant, and in your right foot, it's got a impressive 226 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, making it significantly quicker when merging and passing. And if you live where I live on I-94 Speedway, it's important. Well, the speed limit's 70 miles an hour here in Michigan, and up north it's 75. So in a lot of areas in America, you have the opportunity is there to accelerate rather quickly to get to cruising speed, whether it's because you have to get to the speed limit or it's because you like to go fast. So this actually hybrid is kind of struggles a little bit with the fuel mileage, but it gets 30 miles per gallon overall. The engine does keep the battery recharged, and it will operate similarly to any kind of two-stage hybrid where it will run the engine when necessary, and also on, if it's a 1.6 turbocharged and you're in the accelerator pretty good, it's going to be the engine and not the electric part of it. So the next one on the list is the Kia Telluride. This is their full-size version of their SUV, or they're calling it a mid-size 3-row. I guess Kia does have a larger one. So 87 is the overall score. Mid-size 3-row SUV ranges anywhere from $36,000 to $53,000. And as far as the reliability on this is the first vehicle that I've seen with a yellow mark. So if you're in the green, it's good. If you're in the yellow, it's okay. And then you don't want to see the red on a consumer's report. So the Telluride is their midsize 3-row. So if you have husband, wife, couple of kids, and their friends, you can all fit. So introduced in 2020, this vehicle has become a very well-known vehicle for Kia. And it also has all of the same driver assist systems that the Santa Fe has: the blind spot warning, lane and keep assist, the lane departure warning, and also the adaptive cruise. So the Telluride does have a pretty decent size infotainment system, and it's one of the Kia's bestsellers next to the Sorento. So the Kia Telluride comes in at 87, but the reliability is kind of iffy as far as the consumer's report went. And then, so keep that in mind when you're thinking about the Kia Telluride. So next on the list would be the Lexus 350h, or the hybrid version of the NX 350h. And this is their mid-size SUV, and it ranges from $42,000 to $58,000, depending on your packages and your chrome accents or whatever options you would want to get. So the reliability is got a double up green arrow, so that is good. Comes in at 87 overall score. And it is definitely in a sweet spot for the midsize or small SUV market. And it comes in at a 38 miles per gallon overall, which is pretty darn good. So you're probably going to get more than that going down the highway at a steady speed. So the Lexus is the luxury version of the Toyota. So it does have the Lexus Safety System Plus 3.0, which includes all the safety features such as blind spot warning and the lane departure and also the adaptive cruise. And so something to think about if you like Lexus and you want that vehicle, and it also is a hybrid. So that's saving you some gas and actually picking up on your miles per gallon. So let's go back to the one that was right on the front page. And this vehicle is just brand new. And this one, like I said, this one surprised me. It's the Ford Maverick Hybrid. And it's the 4-door little truck. I don't know if you've seen these. It looks a lot like a Ranger. It looks like a 2-wheel drive Ranger, but it's actually a front-wheel drive vehicle based kind of solely off the Bronco chassis and the Escape chassis. And it comes in at an overall score of 80. So it's the small, affordable pickup that's front-wheel drive. You can get it in an all-wheel drive version if you'd like. And it ranges anywhere from 22,600 to 28,400. It's got one arrow up in a green reliability, which means it's rather well. And, you know, Ford's done a pretty good job over the last couple of years. And, you know, I was telling my wife the other day, you know, we did a couple of alignments on some new Broncos for one of the stores that was doing, they put a little lift kit on these Broncos, and not the Bronco Sport. It's the regular Broncos. They came, they've got a couple of different versions of them. They're really kind of neat. The soft top ones, they're really kind of sharp inside and out. And it's, you know, it's got cues from the old Broncos, the Broncos of old, of the late 60s, early 70s Broncos. So it's got some styling cues from that. But this Maverick really is kind of based off of that platform there. And the hybrid actually puts it up to about 37 miles per gallon. It does have a 4.5-foot box or a bed. So you could put your push mower in it. You could do some other things with that. You're kind of limited with that bed, but it does give you the opportunity to, get maybe some 2x4s if you wanted, but you get some 8-footers in there. You're sticking out just as far as you're in the bed. So you put the tailgate down, that gives you another couple feet, but you're still sticking off in the back in the traffic. So, I don't know really how useful a 4-foot bed would be, but you can still, go and get bigger things. You can put if you got to go to Sam's Club and you want to get a TV for the Super Bowl, it's going to fit in the back there. So it's relatively roomy with, it's like a crew cab set up on a Ford Ranger. So, and they're rather roomy, if you ask me. If it's anything like the Broncos that we did alignments on, they're rather roomy. Center shift console. It does have all the safety features that any typical Ford would have. The blind spot warning, the lane departure warning, and also it does have an available adaptive cruise as well. So, hey, the Ford Maverick's pretty cool. Got a American car in there in the top 10. Is that the only one? Let's look. Corolla Hybrid, Corolla Cross, Subaru Forester, Nissan Leaf. Nissan Leaf. We haven't talked about the Nissan Leaf. This is a full EV. Uh-oh, there's 2 of them in here. Can you guess what the last one is? I'll save that one for the last. Nissan Leaf. It's been around for a little while, full electric vehicle. It does have a 40 kilowatt battery and an EPA rated 149 mile range with the standard version, and an attractive sub $30,000 price. So coming in at $28,040, and you can also get tax breaks and so forth for purchasing an electric vehicle. And actually, Consumer Reports says they got 212 miles out of the range. So you can get a 60 kilowatt plus version, and they did rate it at 212 miles. So think about that. I have a 10 or 15 mile trek to my shop from my house. So this one would be very useful for somebody like myself, where I'm not really going back and forth all over the place. I'm not delivering things or doing, delivering pizzas or anything where I need a whole ton of range. But the plus version, if you get the bigger battery, you're still under $40,000. And for an electric vehicle, this is pretty decently priced. So $36,040 for the plus version. And with all the safety features that Nissan offers, blind spot warning, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, and the rear cross traffic warning, which a lot of GM vehicles have, or RCTW. So when you're backing out of a driveway, it uses the blind spot warning radars in the bumper to alert you that their car is coming across, or a kid on his bike on the sidewalk or something like that. So, and again, if you go back to my episode a couple of months ago when I was talking about these driver assist systems, I think I did that back in November. So yeah, if you go back to my November episode on advanced driver assist systems, or ADAS, like we call it in the automotive world, they've got a lot of cool things. They've got a lot of cool technology. It's keeping us on our toes because all these systems come out, and we have to learn how to repair them, and we have to learn how to calibrate the cameras. so that they could tell you and keep you in this lane and not let you go out of the lane, and also steer you back into that lane if you're distracted or if something strange happens while you're driving down the road. So the last one in this list, and this doesn't surprise me at all, and I listened to Zach Hurst. He runs the EV Resource podcast. I listened to his podcast the other day, and he was talking about the Tesla Model 3 as being one of the most popular vehicles in America, and it hit this list. It is in the top 10. It comes in at a Consumer Reports 78 overall score. It is a fully electric vehicle. We all know about the Tesla Model 3, the four-door sedan version, comparable to any midsize vehicle. The reliability of them is a little in question as far as Consumer Reports is concerned. They've got the yellow center mark. It is rated at 358 miles. So I could pretty much drive that for a month without having to charge it. That would be really cool. But Tesla has come a long way in the last couple of months, or couple of years actually. They've come a long way with their reliability and also their longevity. And, you know, they're becoming more and more popular. You know, Elon Musk is going gangbusters, and he's also, and Zach actually broke this news too on his podcast. He broke the news that they're getting together with Ford, and Ford Motor Company and Tesla are going to work together as far as their charging stations and their charging ports. I don't know if you've listened to his podcast. Tesla was trying to come up with their plug-in port to be proprietary to all the electric vehicles so that they could use the Tesla supercharging stations and be available for that. So Ford moving forward with the Mach-E, and they have the full-size F-150 that's a fully electric, and their plans for building more electric cars, and it's coming. They're more coming, and all the manufacturers are moving forward with more and more electric vehicles. So this is something that was a big announcement that Ford got together with Tesla on that. But as far as the top 10 list in the Consumers Report, Tesla Model 3, just skimming through some of their comments, the driving range on our Model 3 was 310 miles, but can be ordered with up to 358 miles of range. So that comes with two different style batteries, or a bigger battery, I guess. And that's a significant distance for an EV, especially given the convenience of using the widespread Tesla supercharger network. So they have these specific Tesla charging stations. You can pull up to them. They're at the grocery stores nowadays. They're at Meijer in Ann Arbor, and they're moving this way. We live in an area where it's not as popular, but it's becoming popular. So once we get something along these lines, it's going to be really, we're going to start seeing these Teslas in rural Michigan where I live more and more, which is going to be interesting to say the least. So traveling by Tesla is simply easier than with other EVs. The minimalist interior with his gaugeless dash and giant center screen adds to its otherworldly ambience. So plenty of acceleration, great car. So if you're into electric vehicles, the Tesla Model 3 and the Nissan Leaf have made the top 10 vehicles as far as Consumers Reports. Well, that's going to do it for this top 10 list. I hope you were enthralled with that. I was. I thought this was pretty cool. They also had some best and worst. So if you want to go, I'm just going to name some of the models. And after this top 10, there was a list that kind of struck me as strange because it is the brands that make the best cars. So let's go with my alma mater, Chevrolet. Okay, they are 62. And this is this year. They are up one from their 24th position last year. They came in at 24th. There's 32 on this page. So there's 20. They're up one from 24. They knocked Cadillac. Cadillac actually fell 3 to 24. And then Chrysler fell 12 spots to 25. And then Tesla is up 6 to 17. Buick is down 1 from 11 to 12. And all the rest of them are foreign cars. So if we go number 6, up 3 is Toyota. Honda comes in at number 5. Lexus at 4. Mini is number 3, up 5 positions from the year before. Subaru gets knocked off their post of number 1, down 1 to number 2. And BMW jumps 2 spots from 3 to number 1 with a score of 81 overall as far as their cars are concerned. So the road test scores are 88, and they tested 9 models, and they recommended all 9, and they have 1 green choice vehicle, according to this page. So it's pretty interesting, and who's below 25? You could be surprised. Mercedes-Benz, GMC, Alfa Romeo, Jeep. Jeep was 31. And Land Rover. Land Rover just made the page at 32. So there's some interesting vehicles manufacturers that have made this list, but barely. Land Rover's overall score was 45. And let's see, they tested 5 of the vehicles. They recommended 0. So Consumer Reports doesn't recommend any of their cars. So conversely, if you go to Chevrolet, who came in at 23, they tested 12 of their vehicles, recommended 5, and they have 2 green choices, which would be the Bolt and the Silverado, the EV Silverado. So kind of some interesting stuff in this magazine, and you can go to the new car reviews, which is in the back, and I went searching for my trusty old Chevy Silverado, and I was kind of surprised about the new Silverado, how not so good it was as far as the Consumer Reports people put it. But those Broncos I was talking about, they were in the mid to upper 50s. Ford Escape came in at 78. The trucks really didn't fare very well. If I can get back to, let me just get to it really quick here. Yeah. Chevy Silverado, 50. Overall score was 50 for the 2023 Chevy Silverado. Received recent updates that brought a fresh interior, off-road focused models in the ZR2 version and also the Trail Boss. They are have a 2-inch body lift and also have some beefed up suspension and skid plates. It does have the Super Cruise, which means we've seen the GMC commercial where they're clapping, "We will rock you." You push the Super Cruise and it keeps you in the lane. It steers itself. And also adaptive cruise with the vehicle in front of you. So you can take your hands off the wheel if you so desire. Not so sure I kind of like that. But anyway, it has the ability to have that option. We found the Silverado delivers smooth, responsive power from the 5.3-liter V8, returning 17 miles per gallon with the crew cab 4-wheel drive version. And they also do have a 3-liter 6-cylinder diesel with a 10-speed automatic transmission. And they do have the lane keep assist, blind spot warning, and the cross traffic warning. All of these are common to GM vehicles, and most GM vehicles have. If you got the blind spot warning, you got the rear cross traffic, because Danny's Traverse has got that. My wife's Traverse has that cross traffic. It's kind of neat because it beeps at you and, hey man, there's a car coming, especially if you're backing out. You can't see out of these cars anymore. And I tell you what, she was letting me drive it the other day when we were going somewhere. It's just like, you can't see out of this thing. It's terrible. To me, it's got poor visibility in your blind spot area. So it's like over to, when you turn to the right past the passenger and you're looking out the rear window, that rear pillar that comes across, man, it really blocks the way. So that rear camera is just awesome, because the car's coming down the aisle at the grocery store. I was like, whoa, okay, somebody's coming. Beep, beep, beep. Hey, rear cross traffic warning. All the fun safety features that GM has had for years. And then I looked at quickly the Chevrolet Blazer, brought that back. It's one of their mid-size SUVs. That's something that my wife Danny's going to transition to from the Traverse. So I wanted to take a look at that, and it says it's 75. The Blazer midsize SUV seats 5 passengers, but focus more on styling and comfort and less on utility. Most versions get a 2.0 turbocharged 4-cylinder that has ample power, and also the available 3.6-liter V6, which has been GM's mainstay for, several years. Since 2006, it's had some updates and upgrades, but it's available in a V6. Reliability is up. Satisfaction is on the middle side. Road test score was 78, and it gets an average miles per gallon of just under 20 at 19 miles per gallon. Got all the similar safety features of any other GM vehicle. Blind spot warning, rear cross traffic, adaptive cruise, lane departure warning. Some of the driver assist systems available on that vehicle. So after that, I started looking at some of the vehicles you wouldn't think would be up there on this list. And some of them, they didn't get a score because they didn't test it. So, and the trucks really I think the trucks really took a beating. And if we let's flip to the Ram. I want to see this, and I apologize that I'm flipping the pages and you can hear it. However, so the Ram, out of the full-size American trucks, you got a heart like a truck. You want to get yourself a Ram. Its overall score is 68. Now, a friend of mine who works at a used car lot. His wife's got one. It's really nice. These are these trucks are just so nice nowadays. It's like you're driving a luxury vehicle, really, because air ride suspension and all the stuff they've got on these trucks. They're really nice. So, you can get one of these trucks from $37,000. I don't know what you're going to get on it with $37,000, but all the way up to $84,000. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be the big horn with all the fancy features and the air ride suspension and the Uconnect radio and the 5.7 Hemi. And also, this thing's getting 17 to 23, depending on how heavy your foot is, with a V8. And it's got an available off-road Hellcat version, I guess they call it. Well, it's actually the TRX version with the 702 horsepower V8. So they stuck the Charger engine in the Dodge Ram, in the Ram 1500. And so there you go. So out of the full-size trucks, I was really impressed with that score of 68. And it's actually in the green. So, wow. Pretty informative stuff. If you ever get the opportunity to flip through this magazine, I was really surprised at a couple of the vehicles we had in the top 10. We had a Tesla. Toyota dominates once again. And hey, they're nice vehicles. I can't knock the Toyotas. They got it figured out and they're doing well. And it's good to see they got so many models in the top 10. And also, hey, Tesla's come a long way. The Tesla Model 3 in the top 10 as far as Consumer Reports. Hey, it's one of the most popular vehicles now. The Tesla, an electric vehicle. Okay. I'm on board. I'm not sure. I'll have to drive one. I haven't driven one of those yet. I got to do that. I had to drive one of them Teslas. So there you go. That's the Consumer Reports best and worst of 2023. And I thank you for listening. All right, that's going to do it for another episode of the All Automotive Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Clausen. Stay tuned for our next episode where we're talking about vehicle restoration one more time. Going to have my brother Jeff and his friend Paul Jagelski on the show again. We're going to be bringing everybody up to speed on Paul's MG, Jeff's Volkswagen tire installation, and we're going to bring you up to date on good old Delilah, the 68 C10 of my project. All Automotive is a production of West Ave Media. Until next time, I'm Matt Clausen saying, keep that greasy side down.